There are films that have a relationship to each other. In my double feature section of Real Tunnel, I bring these films together. The story of Orpheus and Eurydice is one of the most famous tales in Greek mythology. Orpheus was a gifted musician. He fell in love with Eurydice, a beautiful nymph. Eurydice was bitten by a venomous snake and died instantly. Orpheus descended into the underworld to plead for Eurydice's return. He got a second chance under one condition. He must lead Eurydice out of the underworld without looking back until they have reached the world of the living. Many artworks were inspired: operas, theater plays, and films. The two unique films we are talking about here became milestones in the history of world cinema, but none of them is set in the ancient world of Greece, but actually are very French, and yes, President Obama had a special relationship to one of them as well. The writer Jean Cocteau wrote a theater play Orpheus already in 1926. In 1930, he made his first Orpheus film, The Blood of a Pope, an avant-gardist experimental film. 20 years later, he returned to this legend. In between, by the way, he filmed The Beauty and the Beast. Orpheus is set in contemporary France, but it manages to become a fantasy film with very imaginative visual ideas. Even when depicting the underworld, he abstains from creating a fantasy setting. He uses ruins or interrogation rooms. The horror of the war and of totalitarian rule was still present. Orpheus is more complex than the legend. It is not Eurydice who dies in the beginning, and the devil fancies Orpheus.
Mais madame, on m'attend chez moi.
Laissez votre femme vous attendre.
President Obama wrote about the second film, which was his mother's favorite film, in his memoirs Dreams from My Father. He personally disliked the film and he was not alone. The title might have been indicative: Orfeo Negro in Portuguese or Black Orpheus in English. This version is set in contemporary Rio de Janeiro, and when I say contemporary, I mean 1959. The basis was a theater play, which title I don't pronounce, by Vinicius de Moraes from 1956. Leading figures of the Brazilian culture scene contributed. Antonio Carlos Jobim co-wrote the songs, Luis Bonfa performed the songs, and Oscar Niemeyer did the stage design. The French director Marcel Camus wrote a screenplay with Jacques Viot, and as a co-production between France, Italy and Brazil, the film was shot in Rio during the Carnival. At the surface, the film doesn't have fantasy elements. The imaginative underworld is part of the Carnival and its rituals. The story is less complex than Cocteau's version. What makes this film so extraordinary are the carnival scenes, the beautiful developing love story, and the music by Luis Bonfa and Antonio Carlos Jobim. Black Orpheus won the Palme d'Or at the 1959 Cannes Film Festival, the 1960 Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, the 1960 Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Film. The film brought Rio's Carnival to the attention of the world. Bossa Nova became one of the major music trends of the 60s. Obama didn't like the film as it depicted, as he wrote, childlike blacks. The author of the play, Vinicius de Moraes, walked out of the cinema in the middle of the screening. The general criticism was that the film displayed a cheap and problematic exotism of Brazil. And in fact, the carnival shown in Orfeo Negro is a fantasy, and as such it works as an adaptation of a Greek legend. So judge yourself. Which of the two films do you prefer? Do you think that Orfeo Negro got its politics wrong? Here are a few notes of my favorite song from Orfeo Negro, Mania du Carnaval.